Jessica Powell sat alone in her apartment, the weight of her world crashing down around her. She thought she had lost everything: her job, her home, her marriage. Despair seemed like the only thing left. But then, a knock at her door would change everything. Who could that be at this hour, she thought? But what happened next was something she never saw coming. Who was at the door? Why is it happening now? Jessica, struggling to hold her life together, is told by her husband Brian Powell, the person she trusted most, that their marriage is over. He's leaving her. She receives the news just after losing her job at a high-end marketing agency in downtown Chicago. She has no support, no friends, and is sinking deeper into isolation. First plot twist. The mysterious person at her door is not a friend, but a private investigator hired by Brian. His words hit hard. Your husband wants a divorce, and he's already moved on. It's too late now. He's made his decision, the investigator says coldly. Jessica, left reeling, decides she has nothing to lose and begins searching for answers in the one place that could reveal everything: her husband's phone. Key reveal. Jessica finds a hidden message on Brian's phone. It's not just about their divorce. It's a threat. A series of texts indicate that Brian is involved in a dangerous game that could threaten not just their marriage, but their very lives. Second plot twist. A message from Brian's colleague, Terry Mitchell, reveals a shocking truth. Brian isn't just leaving her. He's been involved in illegal activities that jeopardize both of their futures. But the worst part? He was framed, and the real criminals are much closer than she thought. Brian didn't just walk away. He was pushed. But I'm not sure if I can protect you, Jessica. Pivotal moment. Jessica, faced with this new revelation, decides to take matters into her own hands. She teams up with Detective Marcus Allen, a former acquaintance, to uncover the full extent of the conspiracy. As they dig deeper, Jessica uncovers not only a betrayal of trust, but a plan to take everything away from her and her family. Jessica's fight for redemption. As Jessica starts unraveling the conspiracy, she finds herself in a dangerous game with powerful individuals who will stop at nothing to cover their tracks. But there's a spark of hope. Her life might not be over. It's just the beginning of her fight for justice. I don't care what they say, Jessica whispers to herself. I'm not going to let them destroy me. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. As Jessica confronts her husband about the secrets he's kept, a mysterious figure appears in the background, watching them through the window. Who is that? And why are they watching us now? She thought she lost everything until the phone call that changed her life forever. What happened next will leave you breathless. Jessica Powell had always believed in second chances. She built her life around her family, her career, and the small but steady rhythm of everyday life. But one afternoon, her world came crashing down, and everything she thought was solid and permanent turned into dust. Her marriage? Gone. Her job? Gone. The house she worked tirelessly to make a home? Gone. Chicago, Illinois, a city of opportunities. Yet for Jessica, it felt like the walls were closing in on her. After years of pouring everything into her family, the betrayal came like a slap to the face. Brian is leaving you, Jess. It's over. Those were the words her husband Brian had spoken as he packed his bags. In that moment, she felt the sting of abandonment. It wasn't just the end of a marriage. It was the death of the future she thought they were building together. But just when she thought it was the final chapter, the phone rang. And that call, it set off a chain of events she couldn't have prepared for. The first few hours after Brian's departure were filled with shock. Jessica didn't know whether to scream or cry. She sat in the living room, staring at their wedding photo, a lifetime of memories frozen in time. But as the minutes passed, something strange happened. Jessica's phone buzzed. It was a message from a number she didn't recognize. Meet me at the old coffee shop on 5th. I know what Brian's been hiding. Confused and intrigued, Jessica put on her shoes. Who could be contacting her at a time like this? And why now? The coffee shop was only a few blocks from her apartment.
but the walk felt like miles. She arrived, her heart racing. In the dim light of the cafe, she saw a man sitting alone. "I'm Detective Marcus Allen," he said, his voice low, almost a whisper. "And I know you're probably wondering why I'm here. But I'm not here to tell you about Brian's betrayal. I'm here to tell you about a much bigger story." He handed her a manila envelope. Inside, there was a single photograph of Brian, but this wasn't the Brian she knew. In the photo, he was sitting at a table with a well-dressed stranger exchanging what looked like stacks of cash. Her fingers trembled as she looked at the photo. She couldn't believe her eyes. What was Brian involved in, and who was this person he was meeting? The detective's next words shook her to the core. "Your husband's been lying to you. He's not just leaving you for another woman. He's involved in a high-stakes financial scheme, one that could cost him everything, and you too if you're not careful." She felt the air leave her lungs. For the first time in her life, she wondered if she'd ever truly known her husband. As the detective continued to speak, he revealed that Brian had been laundering money for an underground syndicate, and Jessica had unknowingly been living in the midst of it. Her entire world flipped upside down. The life she thought she had built, it was all a lie. As Jessica tried to digest the truth, a cold realization settled in. This wasn't just about a betrayal. It was about survival. If Brian's secret life was this deep, there were dangerous people involved, people who wouldn't hesitate to do anything to protect their interests. Jessica began to question everything. How far would Brian go to protect himself? And who else was involved in this web of lies? "I'm not the only one who knows about Brian's secrets, Jessica. Someone else is watching you right now." Her stomach dropped. Who was watching her? She had no idea, but she needed answers fast. That's when things took another unexpected turn. Detective Allen pulled out a piece of paper, a threat addressed to Jessica, written in Brian's handwriting. "If you go to the police, if you try to stop this, everything we've built will be destroyed. Don't test me, Jess. Trust me. You don't want to know what's coming." But before she could react, Detective Allen received a text message. He looked up at Jessica, his face serious. "We need to leave. Now. They know we're on to them." With the detective's help, Jessica embarked on a mission to confront her husband. She needed answers. She needed to understand why he had involved her in this dangerous world. And most importantly, she needed to protect herself. The confrontation wasn't what she expected. Brian, desperate and on the verge of losing everything, tried to justify his actions. "I didn't want you to get hurt, Jess. I never wanted you involved in this. But it was too late. The money was already in, and the people I owed, they didn't give me a choice." In that moment, Jessica had a decision to make. Would she continue down the path of forgiveness, or would she take matters into her own hands and ensure her own safety? Just when it seemed like everything was resolved, Jessica received a final text from an unknown number. "You're not safe. You never will be again." The screen went black. What happens next? Will Jessica survive the storm that Brian's actions have unleashed? Will she get justice, or will she be dragged into a world of crime and deceit she never asked for? What happens next will leave you speechless. If you want to follow Jessica's journey through this unbelievable twist, subscribe now. You don't want to miss the next chapter in this real-life thriller. Do you think Jessica should forgive Brian or go after the people who tried to ruin her life? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you were Jessica, what would you do? 1. Confront Brian again. 2. Go to the authorities. Or 3. Walk away and start fresh. If this story moved you, hit subscribe and be part of the Goodness Corner family. I'll be sharing more real-life twists you don't want to miss.